How's it going, people? And welcome to episode 2 of BigG Meets the Music Stars, a show where I, BigG, get up close and personal with the stars of the music circuit. I mean the stars who create original music. These are the folks who are accomplished, talented, and dare to be different. So we're going to have a lot of fun games as I profile the artist whose passion for creating original music has made an impact and influenced me to feature them on this show. Our guest for today is a dentist. And no, I do not have dental problems as of right now. But here's a guy who's a successful dentist, yet felt something was missing in his life, excitement. And this excitement could only be provided by music. So he decided to venture on a path, uncharted territory, you might call it, of original music. 4 albums later, he has been featured in the Rolling Stones magazine and commands an army dubbed Rise Nation. Sounds interesting, doesn't it? So it's time to meet our guest of today. Give it up for Dr. Varun Carvalho.
Thank you.
Varun, welcome to the show. It's an absolute pleasure and privilege having you join us at this point of time. And you know, Varun, it's been amazing. I recall the first time that we met, and then I had hosted the launch of your very first album.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. That's been over 10 years, isn't it?
Yeah, in fact, that was just the start of my music journey. And I still remember that day. We launched the album, and you hosted that night actually. And the next day, the song went on VH1. And it was really good times at that time actually.
Very briefly, the journey thus far, from then to now.
Yeah, it's been a long journey, and but the good thing I tell every kid is that you need to start on the journey, because unless you start on the journey, you will not know where you will go. And today, I'm really happy at the place I am right now, because my music is still evolving. I know that, but it's a constant evolvement. And I'll just tell you a small thing, like in those days, a lot of people used to not make original music.
Absolutely.
And in fact, a lot of people used to say, Varun, why are you doing this? And I told them, you'll see one day. And then a few years later, I wrote the anthem for FC Goa, Forza Goa. And then every Goan from young to old was singing Forza Goa.
It's very easy to cover a song. It's almost like copying. And you took the high road and started writing your songs, recording it, singing it, playing it in front of an audience live. Why go through all that trouble?
Because a small secret right now.
Okay.
Because I don't know whether my fans know it, but I've never learned music.
So viewers, this is a secret that you all will know at this point of time. Varun shares his secret with you all.
I've never gone to music school. So I just used to pick up the guitar, I used to pick up the piano by myself, and I never used to do cover songs. And that's how the journey started. I just started writing.
So you haven't played a cover song ever?
I've played a few cover songs, but I've played it in my style, yeah? And that's what I tell everyone is, whatever you do it in your style. There's no harm doing a cover song, but make the cover song your own. And I think everybody on the outside, all the listeners, they want to hear you. They want to hear you as an artist. So they don't want you to copy somebody else's song, but they want to hear the real you and feel the real you.
I'm sure you would have a lot of musical influences. Can you share with us your musical influences?
Yeah, like my dad died when I was 5 years old, and there were 2 collections he had. There was ABBA and there was Beatles.
And who did you choose?
You guessed I think you would guess whom I chose.
No prizes for guessing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was the Beatles, and I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
our viewers have already guessed that.
And since we could not afford a lot of music albums at that time, I grew up just on Beatles, and I don't think it was a bad thing because that started me on my rock and roll journey.
So you used to listen to records? Vinyl?
Yeah, in those days there were vinyl, but our vinyl player was not working, so we had tapes. Yeah,
Cassettes?
yeah, we had cassettes.
Okay.
And then what happened is a few years later, when I was in my 8th grade, one of my cousins, he was older, and he took me to a beach show. In those days, there were a lot of beach shows happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where,
The
like,
golden age of music
the
in
golden
Goa.
age of music. Like it used to happen on beaches, it used to happen on grounds, it used to happen in the villages. And we were on Wellsound Beach, and there were bands playing. And suddenly this guy came up. I'd never seen him before. And he played. I said, wow, man, someday I want to be like him. And later I came to know his name was Fernandes. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And that day changed my life because as a kid, after my dad died, I started stammering.
Okay.
And a lot of, I don't know where my life was going because everybody would make fun of you and everybody thought this boy was useless, and my life didn't have purpose. But that day, I saw Remo on stage. I said, wow, man, I want to be like him. And someday I want to be up there singing like him.
So what you actually have proved to everybody out here is if you have the will and you have the persistence, nothing is impossible.
Yeah, I think nothing is impossible. And the dream literally came true because on the first track I ever recorded, Remo played the flute.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah,
Yes, I remember.
You Pick Me Up.
Yeah, I remember that song.
And that's what I tell every kid, just keep the dream because one fine day that dream will come true.
Which brings me to our next question. Who is / are your role models?
I think the biggest role model, like I have two big role models in my life. One is my father. I didn't know him a lot, but I knew him after he died. I knew him a lot more because I used to spend every evening at his grave. I used to cycle down to his grave and I used to spend 3-4 hours with him. And
That is heart-touching.
I used to be on my guitar, and he spoke to me a lot at that time. But before he died, he was a doctor, and he told me one thing. He said, Varun, one day you need to rise up and you need to touch a lot of lives. And at that time I realized that I needed to follow in my dad's footsteps, and what better way to do it through music, because I think music has the power to touch millions of lives.
I totally agree on that. And you spoke about two role models. Who's your second role model?
My second role model, I don't think it's very difficult for people to know because we do a lot of reggae, and it's Bob Marley, yeah?
Well said.
And whatever message he gave through his music, whatever rhythm he gave through his music, it's still like reggae is in literally my veins, yeah?
And I've noticed that of late you have been pursuing that style of music in a lot of your songs. And I think this has been a feel that you have had even right from your very first album. So reggae and Bob Marley,
Yeah,
the style of music and the role model.
I think because reggae has this philosophy, yeah? Reggae has this philosophy of getting the world together. And I think music is above religion, music is above countries, music is above color. And through reggae, we can speak through it, yeah? I think reggae is one of the best mediums to speak out what you really want that change to happen in the world. And I think, as Bob Marley said, like when the music hits, you feel no pain. And I think we as musicians have a much bigger role to play in society, in this world. I think because music has the power for change. And all through my first album, through the songs I make now, they always have a message, and a higher message that you need to reach to a higher consciousness and you need to reach to a higher elevation.
Varun, what is your goal in life?
I think my goal in life is to make this world a better place. I think each of us has come into this universe with a purpose, yes, and we have to expand this universe. That's what I believe.
That is, I think you're trying to evade the question out here. Let's be a little specific. That is in a very broad sense.
Yeah.
I want our viewers to understand your specific goals. What are you targeting as a goal, maybe in the next, let's say, what are your goals for the next 5 years?
I think it's mainly so that like music definitely changed my life. I was suicidal when I was young because of all the stammering and everything, but music really kept me alive, and that's what we spread through our foundation, through the Rise Nation Army Foundation. We go to schools and colleges, we tell the kids to embrace music because music can change your life. And I think that's the purpose of my life, to make music a part of everybody's life.
So in essence, what you're trying to say is the hardship that you had to face, you found the solution that worked for you. So you'd like to share the solution with everybody else.
Share the medication, as Bob Marley said. Music is my medication.
Okay, we have reached our next question. And this is a critical question, Varun. What are the challenges that you have faced as an artist?
I think one of the main challenges we faced in Goa is we do not have artist managers.
Okay.
And so you have to do everything by yourself. Like marketing yourself, branding yourself, even positioning yourself, yeah. So, but in the big cities, there are artist management companies. So in the big cities, you can just be an artist. But here, you have to be everything.
Do you think, and our viewers would like to know, do you think if Goa has a record label, would that help?
Yes, I think definitely if we had a record label and with the guys who know what they're doing, I think Goan music would reach far and wide across the world.
Okay, my next question, Varun, is originality created by covers. Do you think that bands in the industry in Goa merely copy, and it's no fault of theirs because the audience demand that kind of a scenario where you just take an original, try and play it as close, take a song and try and sound as close to the original. And that beats the purpose of an artist's interpretation of the song. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, like personally, I'm not against any artist or any band doing covers. But I believe that you should interpret it in your own style. In fact, the cover, you should make the cover your own song. In fact, you've seen a lot of artists across the world, like you even don't know it's a cover. You think it's their own song.
Absolutely, absolutely. I totally support that theory that, you know, when you take a song, you add your style, your signature to it and make it your own.
Make it your own.
Yes. And that also helps the creative process of creating a new song, an original song. It really helps because then it also helps you develop a certain style and signature.
Yes.
All right. At this point of time, we have been talking a lot of heavy questions. Now let's lighten up a little bit. And you have been on stage, you've done so many shows, and most people generally talk about, you know, how it's been, it's a tiring experience. But now what I want to ask you is your funniest moment on or off stage in your musical career.
Yeah, I think I remember this time a few years ago when I was a bit younger, and you know, most of the stages in Goa are not really sturdy stages.
Don't tell me. I'm beginning to guess what you're getting at. But
I remember we were in Vagator one day, and we were playing on the stage.
On the beach?
No, it was right on the hill.
Okay.
And I think the organizers wanted the sunset to come back, and there was no backdrop. There was no backdrop. And
Oh, it was just a drop, you mean?
yeah, it was just a drop, man. And the stage was on the cliff, and you looked at the back and you say, "My God, man!
So
if you miss a step, you're right down."
So what happened on that particular day was you
Yeah.
did not take a step forward or backward
Yeah.
and did not move from your position?
Normally, in my band, we are always running around on stage.
Yeah, I've seen you
the
on stage.
guitarist and
You're-
all of us are running around on stage. But no, that day, I just told my guitarist, I told everyone, just stay put, man. for everyone's good.
I actually can't imagine you, Varun, because I've seen you on stage and you're always prancing around. You're moving from one end of the stage to another with the guitar. I almost expect you to smash the guitar at some point or the other. I can't imagine how long was that period that you would have to actually waited on stage without doing anything.
It was like one and a half hour, and I told my guys, please don't move for the safety of everyone.
So 1.5 hours of standing
Yeah,
in
just-
one place, singing,
and playing.
and all that energy was focused only
Focused on the,
out there.
on the music. Yeah, it was quite scary also, because if you look down, it was a deep plunge. Yeah, so just look
okay.
in the front, like
Yeah, I've been to Vagator and I can well imagine how the drop is.
the drop is. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one drop that you aren't coming back on top from. All right, Varun. We've reached the fun part of this particular show. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you a set of questions, and you don't have to think too much. You need to answer the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay?
All right, let's
Let's start off. Go for it.
full power.
What would you be if you weren't a dentist or a singer?
A priest.
Fantastic. Okay, share with our viewers the one secret that you haven't told anyone.
The one secret I think that no one knows that I shared today actually was that I never learnt formal music.
Oh, you haven't?
Never.
Zilch. Okay, my next question is the one thing that you hate the most.
My anger, I think.
That's a very honest confession. Yeah, I like it. Okay, this particular question is a very personal question. Your first crush.
Oh, I think it was in dental college, and it was I was roll number 8, and there was a girl who was roll number 7, and yeah, I think that. Was the
But
best crush.
did you ever confess your love for her or your feelings towards her?
Yeah, I did it actually over teeth in the laboratory.
Oh, that's fantastic. And were you rejected or were you accepted? Were you rejected
Yeah.
or accepted?
It was. That's what they say. You'll not get lucky at your first go. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, because I had a major crush when I was in school. And unfortunately, the crush was on my Hindi teacher, and I couldn't speak
Wow.
Hindi for nuts. So I never did profess my love for her.
Wow.
Okay. Did you ever bunk classes?
Yeah, I would. It was rare that I ever went to class actually.
Okay. Then what were you doing during the question is this. What were you doing when you were bunking classes?
Yeah, in those days we didn't have girlfriends, so it was sports. Yeah, so we used to be playing all the time, either cricket or football or table tennis. And actually, it was my sports that got me through college actually, because one fine day, like the principal realized I play very good table tennis, and then he used to make me play every day with him, and he became my good friend, and I didn't need to go to college.
Yeah, actually, I think you're a pretty good TT player, because I played with you, if you recall.
Yeah.
Once we were at a hotel in Kavilosi,
Yeah.
and we played
Yes.
TT.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but I think I whipped your ass in that.
No one has whipped my ass in a long time.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago. The first name that comes to you is going to be your answer, all right? Now, this is a question. On a deserted island, you would like to be stranded with a person.
With myself, I think.
No, with other than yourself. Like, for instance, when I posed this question, I posed it to myself, and the first name that came to my mind was Jennifer Connelly. But hey, each one has their own choice. First name, quick.
This is a tough one because...
Yeah, but you're not supposed to think. And you've been thinking for quite some time. So,
yeah,
the very first name that comes. It doesn't need to be of a romantic angle.
I don't know. I think I'm comfortable with myself. So
okay, I can accept that. And since you've been so
life is easier. Life is easier with yourself. Yeah.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
Because it's easier to survive on an island by yourself than to take care of somebody else on an island. Yeah.
I agree, and that's again a deep thought. You're not supposed to go into those uncharted territories, but hey, since you've been there, and since you've been so honest, I'm going to give you the option of asking me a question, and I will be absolutely honest with you. Ask me anything.
I think, when was your last dental appointment?
Okay, viewers, Varun has caught me at this because I am quite sheepishly admitting that it's been a very, very long time. At least, when was the last time I met you, Varun? In your office.
Yeah, in your office.
In your office.
Maybe 6-7 years.
Okay, and that was when I had my last dental appointment.
Can I ask another question?
Yes.
Okay, when is going to be your next dental appointment? In other words, when are you going to come to see me again?
Viewers, again, I am in a predicament which I shouldn't be in. Can I take the fifth on this? Because I honestly, this is a question I don't know the answer.
Don't worry, I won't give you any pain.
Once again, let me tell you one thing, viewers, that Varun is an amazing dentist. I've had a fantastic experience, but I just hate being on a dentist chair, especially. I wouldn't mind watching someone else go through that predicament, but I take care of my teeth. And after the last appointment that I had with Varun, he kept calling me back, but I refused to go. Not because he's a bad dentist, he's one of the best, because he strives for perfection. But dentists and doctors are two people that I avoid.
Okay. I don't think I can say anything more. Just brush your teeth every morning and night.
And that is sound advice, viewers, from the man himself, Dr. Varun Carvalho. Okay. We have almost reached the fag end of this show. And I have a question for you. Your most memorable fan moment?
Yeah, it was just actually a few days ago. Like I stopped in front of my house and I got out of my house and there was a boy who walked up to me and he said, "Sir, can I take a selfie?" I said, "Yeah, you can take a selfie." And then I asked him, "What's your name?" And he said, "Yeah, my name is Mark." And he said, "I've been playing guitar for last 3 years." I said, "Wow." He said, "From the time you came to my school," because I didn't even remember the school he went to
okay.
Because we go to a lot of schools. Our foundation, our Rise Nation Foundation, we go to a lot of schools. And he said, 3 years ago, you came to my school in November. And from that day, I started playing the guitar. And he said,
that's so wonderful.
Yeah, and he said, like, you have changed my life. And you have inspired me to take up music. And I think that's what I've tried wherever I go and whomever I talk to, especially the kids, is take up music and music will change your life.
And that is what we call job satisfaction in our line of work. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
What a satisfying experience you've had. And viewers, it's been an absolute pleasure having Varun with us on the show. Thank you, Varun. You've been amazing and it's been an absolute pleasure and privilege having you on the show. Thank you for taking the time off and sharing your experience with us. And for our viewers, stay tuned to BigG Meets the Music Stars. We have a brand new show every week. And do support us by liking and subscribing to our channel. I'm going to ask Varun to do an original track. In fact, this is a teaser, so you've got to listen to this one and pay very close attention as he plays the guitar and does an acoustic version of a new single. It's not yet been recorded, it's not yet released, so this is the first time that he's going to play it live. And Varun, take care.
Yeah.
For our listeners, wish you all a safe week ahead. I'll see you all, guys. It's
Cheers.
over to Varun.
Yeah, guys, I'd like to do a brand new song. It's in fact just going to be out very soon. This is called My One Desire. My one desire is to light up that fire. My one desire is to take people higher. My one desire is to make world better. My one desire is to light up the fire. I don't like it when people fight. I don't like it when people kill. I hate it when people strike one another, they just not right. Why do we need to use violence? Why do we need to use weapons? Why can't we solve our problems using common sense like humans? For one desire is to light up the fire. For one desire is to make world better. For one desire is to take people higher. For one desire is to light up the fire. For one desire. This is in fact a song that's going to come out very soon, but I'd like to play you another song which is going to come out a little later, but every show that we play this song, people really groove to it. It's called Chai Chai Coffee Coffee. Just one more thing before I go, all these songs will be up on my YouTube channel. Just go to Varun Carvalho and you'll get all the albums, the old albums, the new albums, and even the future albums. Enjoy yourself, guys. Chai chai coffee coffee, 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 chai chai coffee coffee. I am the chai wala, I am the coffee wala, I am the party wala, I am the music wala, I am the chai wala, I am the coffee wala, I am the party wala, I am the music wala. Leave your problems by your side, leave your troubles by your side. Live it up, live it up, live it up now. Drink my chai, feel the high. Spread the love, stretch and shine. Spread the peace, you are divine. You have the power, you have the life to live your life with a smile. Chai chai, coffee, coffee, chai chai, coffee, coffee, chai chai, coffee, coffee, chai chai, coffee, coffee, chai chai, chai chai, coffee, coffee, 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 chai chai, coffee, coffee. I am the chai wala, I am the coffee wala, I am the party wala, I am the music wala, I am the chai wala, I am the coffee wala, I am the party wala.